Afternoon. How you guys are doing? Doing good? Yeah. So let's try again. Afternoon. How you guys are doing? Yeah. Good. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be in front of you. I know you guys probably got something better to do with your time. Yeah? No? Maybe? Say no. Thank you. Look, I want to talk to you guys about leadership, and I want to tell you guys some of my experiences with my journey with playing football, high school, college, and the NFL level. So this is me. I'm Ricky Sapp. I'm born and raised in Bamberg, South Carolina. Is there anyone in here that's from the South? You ever been to South Carolina? Raise your hand. Okay, a couple people. Okay. So it's a small town down in Bamberg, South Carolina. I graduated from Clemson University. I went to Clemson in 2006 and I left in 2009. I did the NFL for 5 years. I was in the 2010 NFL draft. Just to put you guys in the mindset, Dez Bryant, Tebow, Sam Bradford. I was in that draft class with those guys. Now, I was a strength and conditioning coach all last year and half of this year with Clemson football. I have my own nonprofit foundation. It's called the Ricky Sapp Foundation, and it is geared towards you guys. I do several events throughout the year. Starting off in February, what I do is I do a celebrity basketball event where I have NFL guys, I have some retired NBA guys come, and we play against each other, and I raise money for the athletic program. The other thing I do after that is I do a football cheerleading camp where I have an NFL cheerleader come in, and we do a camp for the kids. I do a Thanksgiving event where I go around and I give out turkeys to families. And then for Christmas, how many of you guys ever saw Buddy the Elf? Y'all saw Elf, the Elf movie? So for Christmas, I dress up as Buddy the Elf, and I go around and I give out gifts. I wish I had a photo to show you guys, but so that's some of the things I do with my foundation. Now, I was a substitute teacher. Can you guys believe that? Y'all believe that? No? No? You don't believe I'm a substitute teacher? I was a substitute teacher over in Myrtle Beach for 3 years. I coach high school football, and I've been doing motivational speaking for about 5 years. But this is my first time doing it full time. And you guys are my first official group with me doing this full time. So thank you. Thank y'all so much. Now, how many of you guys listen to podcasts? Anybody? Podcast. I have my very own podcast, and it's called Talk to Me Tuesday. It's a motivational encouragement podcast, and if you guys ever want to listen to it, I do it live every Tuesday at 7 o'clock on Facebook. Now, I know Facebook is for the older people, and I know you guys don't hang out there, but my podcast is also on Apple and Spotify. Now, leadership. Can anybody tell me, what do you guys think leadership is? Anybody tell me? What do you guys think? Anybody have an idea, or what's your idea of when you think about leadership? Take a minute, think about it. Leadership. When you think about it, don't read my definition. But when you think about leadership, what do you think about? Anybody? Nobody. What you got, Sophia? What you got?
Like supporting your team and not bossing you around.
I love that. I love it. So, leadership, the action of leading a group of people or organization. Now, I want to tell you guys this. I don't think everyone is born to be a leader. I think many are chosen, but few are willing. I do think that a lot of us will have the opportunity to step into a leadership role, but I don't think necessarily every one of us were born to be a leader. But I love this definition. It says the action of leading a group of people or organization. Now, watch the second part. It says leadership is a process of a social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards the achievement of a goal. What do you guys think about that? The thing I love about leadership, and this is so unique to me, is that someone who's willing to step in front of their peers of a crowd and say, look, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to get done. Will you follow me? I think that's so brave for someone to be willing to to lead people towards a goal that they may have. Now, leadership it's a lot of things. It's tough. And I want to show you guys this movie clip because I think it showcases the tough conversation that you have to have when you're a leader. Now, Madison, do you know what movie this is? Remember the Titans. So, I want you guys to listen to this clip. Hopefully it's loud enough.
Get the particulars and get this over with, all right? Specifics. Yeah. No matter what I tell you, you ain't never gonna let it out. Listen, I ain't running any more of these 3 days, okay? What I got to say, you really don't want to hear, because honesty ain't too high for your people's priorities, right? Honesty? You want honesty? All right, honesty? How can you not? Nothing but a pure wit that God's given to him. You don't listen to nobody, man. Not even Dr. Boone. Sugar push on the line every time that you blow right back. Pull him, do something. You can't run over everybody in the league. Every time you do, you want your teammates hanging out to dry. Me in particular. Why should I give a hoot about you? Huh? Or anybody else out there? You want to talk about the way you catch, right? Right. Captain's supposed to be the leader, right? Right. You got a job? I have a job. Doing your job? I am doing my job. Then why don't you tell your white buddies to block the red center? Because they have not blocked the rim, work a blood sickle, and you know. Nobody plays. Yourself included. I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team? No. No, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look out for myself, and I'm going to get mine. Amen. That's the worst attitude I have ever heard. Attitude is like leadership. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that clip because that's 2 leaders talking about a tough situation that they need to fix. That's a tough conversation. And as a leader, one of the things that you have to be willing to do is have that conversation. That's why I say it's so unique to me that we have leaders that are willing to stand in front of people and say, look, this is the goal. This is how we're going to do it. Follow me. And that's one of the things I love about leadership. Catch this again now. I think that not everyone can be a leader. I think a few are chosen, but only some are willing to do it. Now, how can I stand in front of you guys and talk about leadership? Well, I had the opportunity to play football on every level, high school, college, and NFL. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about what I've learned from some of the coaches that I play for when it comes to leadership. Now, you guys had some time to think about leadership. Can anybody give me anything of what they think about leadership? Anybody? What do you think about leadership? Check this out. Raise your hand if you think you're a leader. How about that? Raise your hand if you think you're a leader. Nobody in here is a leader? My God. Oh, thank you. I got one leader. You think you're a leader? Okay. Anybody else think they're a leader? My God. What about you football players? None of y'all are leaders? None of y'all? You're a leader? I got 2. Anybody else? 3 leaders? Okay. So now, let me ask you guys a question. When you think about being a leader on this level, what's some of the tough things you have to deal with as a leader? Like, what's something you have to deal with that's tough on this high school level with being a leader? What is it? What you got?
Hard conversations.
Hard conversations. I love that. What else? What do you guys have? When I was in high school, one of the tough things for me was realizing that I was a leader. My teammates was looking to me to say stuff and to work hard, but I had to realize that I was a leader. What you got? Dedication. I love that. Now, I love that because one of the things I pride myself in is, as a leader, I'm not going to ask you to do anything I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to make sure I dedicate my time and show you that I'm willing to do everything I ask you to do. So I love that. Let's go one more. When you think about leadership on the high school level, what's hard? What's one of the tough things you have to do? What you got? Anybody? Nobody? We gotta get y'all right. Here we go. So, in high school, I played for a guy by the name of Ron Duncan. Now, the one thing Coach Duncan taught me as a leader was he never compromised. He came in as the head coach my 10th grade year, and the first thing he did was he set the standard. He told us what we was gonna do, what we wasn't gonna do, what he wasn't gonna allow, and he stuck by it. He never compromised. Now, I had the opportunity to play for Coach Sweeney down in Clemson. And Coach Sweeney was a guy that he was gonna show you what it looked like to hold everyone accountable. Let me tell you guys this. If you hear nothing I say at all to you today about leadership, listen to this. Coach Sweeney does an incredible job of holding everybody in the building accountable. His mama could come in there and do something wrong, and he go call her out. He's gonna hold you accountable, and I love that. But check this out. The same way that he's gonna hold you accountable, he's gonna love you up too. So when he does hold you accountable, you know it's coming from a great place. Does that make sense? So Coach Sweeney is the kind of leader that he is gonna hold you accountable. And here's one of the things that I had to learn as a leader. Confrontation. That's one thing Coach Sweeney don't shy away from, is confrontation. As a leader, one of the things that I ran away from was confrontation. I want everybody to feel good. I don't want to have the tough conversations. But when you're a leader, that comes with it. So I was lucky enough to be at Clemson this last year and a half, and I learned about confrontation, how to run to it and not from it as a leader. One of my coaches that I played for in the NFL, Mike Vrabel, he is the head coach for the Tennessee Titans. How many of you guys watch NFL football? Anybody? Okay. What's some of your favorite teams, NFL teams? Who y'all like? NFL team, who? The Bears? Why on earth do you like the Chicago Bears? Why on earth do you like the Chicago Bears? All right. Who else? What's some NFL teams y'all like? The Steelers? All right, the best team in the NFL, America's team. Cowboys? The Cowboys. Thank you. How about the Cowboys? So, Mike Vrabel was my linebacker coach when I played for the Houston Texans. And this guy made me very uncomfortable. He was a guy that he taught me how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. But the thing I love about Mike Vrabel was if he asked you to run through a brick wall, he was going to do it with you. Leading up until I met this guy, Houston Texans, I was someone that I didn't really study the playbook that much. I just played football. In comes this guy, and he demands excellence when it came to X and O's and studying the playbook. I can't make this up, guys. I used to walk to his room, and I would stop, and I would say a prayer because it was so uncomfortable to go in there and have to ask questions about the plays and about, just X and O things. But what I learned was that he made me grow and get better. Most times when we are in uncomfortable situations, we look for a way out. I had nowhere to go. I had to make a decision. Either I was going to try and run from it every day, or I was going to grow. And I decided to grow. And this guy became one of my favorite coaches, all because he taught me how to get comfortable being uncomfortable and how to grow. Now, this guy, how do you guys know this guy? Andy Reid. Know this guy? Andy Reid drafted me in 2010. And I'm going to tell you guys about the whole burger thing. You guys ever heard about Andy Reid and the burgers? You heard? I'm going to tell y'all the whole story behind that. But I want to show you guys what I learned from Andy Reid. He drafted me in 2010. And one of the things about Andy Reid was he stood in front of us and he told us the plan. He told us how hard he was going to push us. And one of the things that Andy Reid always said to us when we had a team meeting was, fellas, my training camp is going to be hard because I want to see who's going to be there at the end when times get tough. He said that every summer before training camp. And I hate it when he said it because he meant it. It was tough. His training camp was tough. Another thing about Andy Reid was that he did not believe in wasting time. Now, don't raise your hand, but how many of you guys got coaches that, may talk a little too much sometimes? Just nod your head, just nod your head. Don't raise your hand, just nod your head. Okay. Andy Reid was a coach that he did not believe in wasting time. He didn't do it. When you came into the building, it was, all right, let's work out, team meetings, let's practice. He would walk up after practice and say, all right, see you tomorrow, this and that, all right, bye. He did not believe in wasting time. Now, I'm gonna say this, you guys don't tweet this or tell nobody this. Coach Sweeney is a guy that's gonna talk. No, y'all laugh, listen to me, he talks. He is a talker. If practice is over at 12:30, the guys take their stuff off and take a knee, and then he talks for a whole nother hour. He's a talker. But he does an incredible job with motivating the guys. Andy Reid was the kind of leader that he did not believe in wasting time. So he told you the plan. He told you how hard we was going to work to get there, and he wanted to see if you was going to be tough enough to be there when things got tough during the season. And that he did not believe in wasting time. And the one thing I love about Andy Reid to this day is that he showed that he cared. This is a question I want to ask you. You guys can answer it or not. Can you guys tell when a coach cares? Can y'all tell? Raise your hand. Can you tell? Can you tell? Don't nod your head. Raise your hand. Okay. So you can tell when a coach cares, right? For me, when I knew a coach cared, I would run through a brick wall for him. This guy right here, I would run through a brick wall for him because he always showed that he cared. Still to this day, he drafted me, and I still can have conversations with him. This next guy, Bill O'Brien. You guys know Bill O'Brien? Anybody know Bill O'Brien? Not personally. Okay. I know him personally. Bill O'Brien was my head coach for the Houston Texans. To give you guys a little bit of background, he was the head coach at Penn State a while ago, years ago. He comes from the Bill Belichick tree. He was a coach with Bill Belichick, and I think he's actually back with Bill Belichick now, I think. Bill O'Brien comes to the Houston Texans, and I was not a fan. He was tough. He was tough. He believed that the only way to be successful was to make sure you always stayed uncomfortable. He pushed you past your limits. But the one thing about Bill O'Brien, and I give him his props on this, is that he had you ready. Not only was you ready to go play the game physically, but mentally, this dude had you ready. All throughout the week, on game week, we would take notes and we would learn everything there was to know about the football team we was playing. So if you went to the prom last week, we knew. We knew what your grandma's name was. We knew everything. This guy right here comes in for the Houston Texans, and he pushed us. We worked hard, but we was always prepared to go to war. And that's one of the things I loved about him. He was going to have you ready to go to war. Next guy, Rex Ryan. I love this guy. You guys know Rex Ryan? Anybody know Rex Ryan? Nobody? Y'all so young. Rex Ryan was the coach for the New York Jets when I played there from 11 to 14. Now, Rex was the guy, I'm going to give you guys an example of how Rex was. We're going to win, and we're going to win a lot. That's Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan said that every day he came in the building. Hey, Sap, we're going to win, and we're going to win a lot. And he said it until you believed it. So he was a guy full of energy, and he told us what the goal was. He told us that we was going to win, and he made you believe that. So Rex Ryan was and is the kind of leader that he always tried to motivate you and encourage you. Every day, I'm telling you, every day. And even on the TV media, he would tell the media, hey, look, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. Now, after we didn't win the Super Bowl for a couple years, he kind of stopped saying it in the media. But he kept telling us, hey, we're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win. Another thing I love about this dude right here is whenever you came into the building, and you saw him, it wasn't tense. You know how sometimes you see some of your coaches and you be like, I can't say nothing to this guy. I can't talk to this guy. He's mean and tough. Not Rex. Rex believed in having everything relaxed, right? And he wasn't the guy that you would try to avoid when you came into the building. He was definitely the ultimate players coach. But the one thing about him is he was big in motivating us, encouraging us, and telling us that we're going to win. Now, are you willing to put your pride and ego aside and follow the leader? Now, that's a great, great question. Because as human beings, we think we should lead. No matter if you're a leader or not, you think you should lead. And the one thing that we don't want is someone to try to tell us what to do. Like, I don't want to know that you're better than me, and then you try to come tell me, hey, man, we got to do this. I don't want to hear that bull crap. I'm Ricky Sapp. You don't tell me what to do. So the question is, are you willing to put your pride and ego aside and follow the leader? Raise your hand if you're willing to do that. If you're willing to put your pride and ego aside and follow the leader. Raise your hand. Raise it high. Not too many of y'all. Okay, put your hand down. If you're not willing to follow the leader, put your hand up. You're not willing to follow the leader. Yeah, put your hand up. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Now, can you guys guess? Anybody? Just anybody. Can you guys guess what we are saying right here in this picture? So this is, just to let you guys know, that's me on the left, right there. I look kind of big right there, maybe a little bit. That's me. That's Jared Crick right there in the middle. And that's the one and the only J.J. Watt. Now, we are having a conversation, and it is third down and long. So third down and long means it's like what? Come on, King. What is it? It's third down and long. What is it? 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. It's a pass. So it's like third and 10 on this play right here. It's like 3rd and 10. Can anybody tell me, raise your hand, can anybody tell me, what do you think we're having a conversation about? Talk loud, what? How tired we are? Nah, not that. Anybody else? Let's just take a guess. What do you guys think we're talking about? Anybody? Madison, what are we talking about? What to do next? I love that. Anybody else? So, I'm going to tell you guys what we was talking about. So at this moment right here, this is 2014. J.J. Watt is a $100 million NFL football player. It's 3rd and 10, and whenever it was 3rd and 10 or more, the D-line would go to J.J. Watt and say, what do you want us to do? And J.J. would say these 2 words, cover me. In this very moment, 2014, we say, hey, JJ, what you want us to do? Cover me. Now, cover me meant if whatever JJ did, we had to make him right. So if JJ went out, we had to take our behind in. If he went in, we had to went out. We had to cover him. So in other words, we had to make sure that JJ was right. Does that make sense to y'all? You get what I'm saying? Cover me. I play in the NFL too. Jared plays in the NFL too. Now we ain't making 100 million, but we making some millions. And in this conversation, on 3rd and long, we went to JJ and we said, JJ, what do you want? And he said, cover me. And we had to put our pride and ego aside and do just that. Don't let your pride get in the way of learning from the leader. I told you guys earlier, I don't think everyone is born to be a leader. I just don't think so. I think the issue that we have, or that I've seen in a lot of different places, is that everyone wants to try and be the leader. No one is willing to learn and take a step back and let someone else lead. In this very moment, JJ said, cover me! And I could have said, I play in the NFL too. What you mean? I could have said that, or I could have ignored him. Or I could have played like I was going to do what he wanted me to do and did something else. But I didn't. In this moment, when he said cover me, I put my pride and ego aside, and I did it. If you hear nothing from me today, catch this part. At some point in your life, you have to be willing to learn from someone who is in a leadership role. And you have to be willing to listen, because you're not going to know everything. I tell you guys this. This locker room with Houston, Texas, when I got there, was probably one of the best locker rooms ever. And I think it was because they knew who the leaders were, and we followed them. I told the group this morning. When I first got to this team, we lost 16 games in a row. 16 in a row. We didn't win one and then lost one. We lost 16 games in a row. But we showed up and we kept working. What'd you say? We should stay home? That is tough. I mean, can you imagine that? 16 games in a row. But in this locker room, we had great leadership. And we kept coming to work each and every day. And I think it was because they had great leaders. Now, I love this quote right here. This quote right here, I think speaks to what kind of leader I pride myself into being. The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last is to say thank you. In between, the leader is a servant. I pride myself on showing the people that I lead how to serve, and that I'm willing to serve them, and that I'm willing to say thank you. I'll read it again to you guys. The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. I think what that means is, what's the goal? We're trying to go win the next championship. What's the goal? Okay? How are we going to get there? Now, the second part is this. The last is to say thank you. If I'm the leader and you showing up every day and working on reaching our goal, I'm going to say thank you. In between, the leader is a servant. Serve. How many of you guys are willing to serve? Raise your hand. Willing to serve. Okay, only a couple. Great God. Y'all not willing to serve? No, nobody? Again, raise your hand if you're willing to serve. All right, I love it. Okay, I love it. I love it. Now, here we go. So, here are some characteristics of an effective leader. Before we get into that, do you guys know any types of leaders? Like, do y'all know what kind of leader your coach may be? Anybody know? No? What you think? Are you a leader? No? You're a leader? So, do you guys have any idea of what some of the types of leaders are? Yeah? What? Coach? Like, what type of leader is he, though? Think about it. So, here are some of the characteristics of an effective leader. The first one is this. Are you ready for it? Focus on developing others. I love that. Because you have some leaders, they're not really willing to take time to help develop you. Hey, look, this is the plan. Let's go do it. You can't do it? I don't care. Let's keep moving. Focus on developing others is one of the characteristics of a leader. The next one is this, open-minded and creative. I think we have some leaders that's not open-minded, and they only know one way, and that's their way. And they're not willing to ask questions and have a creative team. Does that make sense? Honest and trustworthy is one of the characteristics of a leader. I love that. Inspirational. Authentic and self-aware. Now, as I stand in front of you right now, I'm going to be vulnerable. You know what that means? You know what vulnerable means? You know what vulnerable means, Madison? I'm going to be vulnerable. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys something personal about myself. Self-aware is something that I have to continue to get better at as a leader. I was a strength and conditioning coach for Clemson football. Before that, I was a high school coach, personal trainer, and I always thought that I could have done a better job of being aware of everything that was going on around me. And not only just the players, but myself as well. I think having self-awareness is probably one of the most important things you can have, even if you're not a leader. I think it's important to have self-awareness. What do I mean by that? What are you doing when you're in class, when you're at practice, when you're at home? Are you paying attention to detail? You guys ever heard a coach say that it's a game of inches? You heard that? That goes for life too. Life is nothing but a game of inches. You step one way too early, you mess up. You turn too early, you mess up. The last one is this: willing to do what they ask of others. I think that's very, very important as a leader. Don't ask me to do nothing you're willing to do. And I've had coaches that was like that. They asked me to do something, they weren't willing to do it. But the coaches that I would run through a brick wall for were the coaches that was willing to do everything they asked me to do. Now, these are some of the leadership styles, and I want you guys to look at them. It's 10 of them. Let's take a minute, and I want you guys to kind of read through each one of them, and then maybe tell me which one you think you would be as a leader. For me, of course, coach, motivational. I think humble and protective, number 3. I think right here, 8, challenging and communicate. I think that's one for me. What do you guys think? I think servant. I think humble and protective. I think I'm one of those. What about you guys? 1 through 10. What do you think? Give me a number. Give me a number. What you got? 9? Yeah? Tell me why 9. You said what? I love that, man. Say it louder. You want to do what? You want to get stuff done. Now, let's talk about that. As a leader, if you're a leader and you want to get stuff done, how would you go about showing your peers?
Doing it with them?
I love that. Doing it with them or showing them. I love that. Anybody else? What number are you? If you had to take a number, what number are you? Madison, what number are you? Sophia, what number are you? 7. I love it. What's 7? Oh, I love it. Helpful and motivational. What about the king? What number are you?
Probably 7.
Probably 7? I love it. So again, these are the common leadership styles. Now, check this out. Do you guys have any questions so far about leadership and about some of the different types of leaders? Any questions so far? Anybody else? What number are you? Nah, I'm gonna make y'all uncomfortable. I'm gonna ask y'all this question. Y'all been here with y'all principal for what? 4 years, right? Right, 4 years? Yeah? No. What number you think your principal is as a leader? What number? 10. He's number 10? He's number 10? I love it. I love it. I love it. So he's always focused. Is he only 10? What other number is he? 3. He's 3? What's 3? He's humble. He's a servant. I love it. I love it. Hey, check this out. What about...
I know what number I'm not.
Oh, what number you not?
I'm not 5.
You're not 5. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, check this out. What about your parents or whoever your guardian is? What do you think your parents, what kind of leader do you think your parents are? 4? Somebody say 4? All right. Somebody say 4. Who else? 11. It's only 10. It's only 10. Anybody else? What do you guys think that your parents, what kind of leadership you think your parents showcase? Anybody? I'm gonna tell you guys about my mom and dad. When I was young, growing up, the one thing my mom and dad did was they went to work. They didn't talk much. My mom got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. At 3 in the morning, went to work. She got off at 2 o'clock, and sometimes she would go to another job. My dad went to work at 3 o'clock and got off at 11 o'clock. And my mom would go get him most times at 11 o'clock and then get up at 3 o'clock the very next day and do it all over again the next day. So my mom and dad was the type of leaders that they didn't say much, but they got up and showed me and my sisters and brothers what hard work looked like. Anybody else? What kind of leader is your parents? One. A coach and motivational. Why so?
Because he's my actual coach.
So, hey, good job, Dad. Good job. I love it. Now, you guys know who this guy is? Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant did a lot of interviews about when he was playing ball, about his leadership, and what he thought about leadership. Now, I thought that this would be a great clip for you guys to watch on the late, great Kobe Bryant as you talk about leadership. Now, leadership is lonely. What do you guys think about that when I say leadership is lonely? What do you guys think about that when I say that? Like, what comes to mind when I say leadership is lonely? What do you got?
Like knowing and really appreciate how hard you're working.
I love that. I love that. What else? When you think about leadership, what you got, big dog?
You don't have anybody to go to for help here.
You don't have anybody to go to for help. Okay? Anybody else? When you think about what you got, I know you got something. When you think about leadership is lonely, what do you think about? Yeah, you think that's what you got? Anybody else? All right. I want you guys to listen to what Kobe Bryant says when they ask him the question about, is leadership lonely? What's your name?
Me?
Yeah. Alex. I like you, Alex. Here we go. Hey, so look, I want you guys to listen when they ask Kobe Bryant, is greatness lonely?
Is it a lonely existence? Leadership. Yes, but that's fine. Listen to me. I'm not going to be afraid of confrontation to get us to where we need to go. I think there's a big misconception that people think winning success comes from everybody putting their arms around each other and saying, come by, yeah, I'm patting on the back, and they mess up, and that's just not reality. If you're going to be a leader, you're not going to please everybody. You got to hold people accountable, even if you have that moment of being uncomfortable.
Leadership is lonely. Did y'all catch anything he said? So, what Kobe Bryant said was that leadership is lonely because oftentimes people are not willing to go with you. But also he said that he's not going to be afraid to call people out when they're not working hard. He's not going to be afraid to show up early and do work that other people are not willing to do. Leadership is lonely. And one of the reasons why I think it's lonely is because not many people are willing to do what it takes to be a leader, and not many people are willing to do what it takes to be great. So you guys are right now in high school, and you probably got your friends who you hang around. I want to tell you guys this. Once you figure out what it is you want to do in life, and you start working towards it, and you putting in work, you are going to lose some close friends and close family members. It's just going to happen. Because not everybody is willing to do what it takes to be great. So not only is leadership lonely, I think greatness is lonely. The only thing that separates the good, I guess the average, being average and good and great, is that people that are great, they do the little things right daily, one day at a time. And not many people are willing to do that. Not many people are willing to take the leadership role and call people out. You heard what he said. A lot of times people think that when you're in a leadership role and you're in a team environment, it's all holding hands and saying kumbaya. It's not. Because eventually you're going to have to call somebody out, confrontation, and you have to hold them accountable. Leadership is lonely. Now, do you guys see this beautiful brown table? Y'all see it? So, I want you guys to do me a favor, okay? Do me a favor. Alex, name it Alex? Alex, so I want you, all you guys, to do me this favor. I want you to see this table. Do you see it? Now, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to see yourself sitting at this table. So close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Just give me a couple minutes. I want you to lock in. I want you to be focused right now. Just give me a chance. I'm going somewhere, I promise you. I want you to focus on you at this table. Now raise your right hand when you see the table and you see yourself at the table. Raise your right hand. Perfect, put your right hand down. At this table, you are alone. And you are one of the most successful individuals that the world has ever seen. You have everything that you could have dreamed of. You got the house you want, you got the car you want, you got the money. But at this table, while you're alone, you feel like you're missing something. You feel lonely. Now, keep your eyes closed. At the same table, I want you guys to now see different people sitting at the table with you. There's someone white, there's one black, man, woman, but they are sitting at this table with you. Do you see it? Raise your right hand. You see it? Put your hand down. At this table with those people, in the middle of that table, it's a list of issues that we need to fix in this world. And you guys create a motto that says, together we are stronger. And because you decide to come together and put your minds together, you guys are able to fix those issues and you become the most powerful group the world has ever seen. Now open your eyes. I think right now, in this world, as adults, we are not showing you guys what it looks like to work together. And I did that right there because I wanted you guys to have an idea of what it would look like if we decide to come together and try to fix the many issues that we have in this world. I want to tell you guys this, and maybe I won't get brought back when I say this, but I'm going to say it. The only thing that we do right now as adults is show you guys how to blame each other. We're not showing you guys what it looks like to work together. And I think that your generation, I think that you guys can figure it out, that if we was to come together and put our minds together, I think that we could fix the many issues that we have in this world. I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm gonna go a little deep right now with you guys. I'm gonna get real vulnerable with you guys. I'm gonna tell you this real quick. I lived with my mom's grandmother. Well, my mom's mother when I was in middle school and high school. Her name was Pearline Anderson, and she died from Alzheimer's years ago. And as she had Alzheimer's, the only way she knew me was I would run in and say, "Granny, it's me!" And she would say, "Oh, it's Lil Ricky." They called me Lil Rick when I was young. "It's Lil Rick. This is my favorite." Now, my grandma died years ago from Alzheimer's. And I would never blame anybody for my grandma leaving. Because when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. But I often wonder if we lived in a world where people was willing to come together, put our minds together, and fix some issues. I often wonder if my grandma would still be here. I often wonder if on that list in the table, if we fix the Alzheimer's issue, if we come up with a cure for Alzheimer's. I often wonder. I think that as human beings, I think that we were all put here to work together. I don't think that none of us was put here to be at a table alone. Now, I do think that at times in your life, you will be at the table alone, because you're going to have to figure out who you are, what you want to do, and then you have to figure out which way you want to go and who do you want to be around you. You guys are in a very, very important time in your life where you're hanging around people that you probably shouldn't be hanging around. I'm going to tell you this. 5 of your closest friends that you hang around is who you will become. And that goes for family members as well. Winners win, losers lose. I'll say it again. Who you hanging around is who you will become. And y'all can laugh about it, that's cool. That's cool. It's funny. But I'm just telling you, the people that you're hanging around right now is who you will become. I think that we were all put here to work together and not alone. Look, I'm gonna say this. I think the greatest creation that God has ever made is human beings. And I think that if we was to come together and put our minds together, there's nothing that could stop us when you think about the many issues that we have in this world. Now, I believe that all of us have a light to shine on the world. I think all of us have a gift. We got something to offer. Your principal has something to offer to you guys, and that's leadership. He shows you that he cares. He's trying to help you guys become the best version that you can be of yourself. But I don't want you guys to ever be afraid to let your light shine. Can anybody tell me where this movie clip comes from, Madison?
Sphere.
Our deepest fear. I want you guys to listen to this clip. This clip comes from a movie called Coach Carter. And Coach Carter asked this kid, what is your deepest fear? If I ask you guys that right now, Alex, what's your deepest fear? Do you have one? What are you afraid of? Drowning. Okay. Anybody else? What are you afraid of? What's your deepest fear? Fights. Heights. What else? What's your deepest fear? My deepest fear at 36 years old is that I won't get in front of as many of you guys as I can. And try and motivate you and encourage you. That's my deepest fear. Is that I won't finish this job. And that's to travel the world and encourage as many of you as I can. Listen to this clip.
We've decided we're going to finish what you started, sir. Yeah, but leave us be, coach. We got shit to do, sir. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that will frighten us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. So I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I think that we all have a light to shine. I want to tell you guys this real quick. Playing football all my life, that was who I was. It was my identity. And I thought that it was my light that I was supposed to shine on the world. I go to this high school over in Myrtle Beach called North Myrtle Beach High School. And it was at this school where it was revealed to me that my purpose was to work with kids, to travel the world, give kids a message. I was a volunteer coach at this school, and they thought it was so cool to have an NFL guy coaching them and around them. But what these kids did for me was they saved my life because I had no idea what I was going to do next. I was just transitioning from the NFL. I was down and out, depressed, anxiety. And I went to this school, and these kids showed me what my light really was. It wasn't to show the world that I can play in the NFL for a long time. That wasn't it. My light is to shine on the world, is to encourage you guys and to motivate you. Now, as you guys are starting to get older and learn who you are, this is what I see when I think about you guys being brave enough to let your light shine. When I see you guys letting your light shine, showing the world how smart you are, how intelligent you are, showing the world that you can do great things. I see kids that's younger than you standing behind you, looking at your light, and then gaining the confidence to step in that light and let their light shine. Don't you be afraid to let your light shine. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to come and talk to you about leadership. It was definitely an amazing opportunity to come all the way from Clemson, South Carolina, to talk to you guys. This is some of the places you guys can find me. If you guys ever have any questions, maybe it's something you want to ask, you don't want to ask right here in front of everybody, you guys can always reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. Now, if you guys have any questions for me about anything, about leadership, about my time playing in the NFL, about my time playing at Clemson, about my time being the strength and conditioning coach for Clemson football, any questions for me about anything we just talked about? I'll say this to you guys. I think that it's a lot of leaders in here. And I'm praying that you guys will take advantage of that and use it for the good and not bad. Any questions for me about leadership or anything? Let me ask you guys this question. When you think about your life right now and where you are, where do you see yourself in about 5 years? Maybe about 5 to 6, 7 years. Where do you see yourself? Anybody tell me that? Alex, where do you see yourself in 5 to 6 years?
College.
What college?
I'm still looking.
Still looking. Anybody else? 5 to 6 years, where do you see yourself? Nobody knows? Well, I pray whatever it is that you guys will do the little things it's going to take to get there, and that you do it one day at a time, and that you don't get discouraged when you do lose those friends or close family members, that you keep going. Because sometimes and oftentimes, greatness is lonely. I thank you guys for the opportunity. I wish you best of luck as school starts. Best of luck. Best of luck. And then go have a great year as you play your sports. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.